Before you change any of the settings in MC Command Center, there's something you need to know. MCCC does not store your settings inside of your save files. It stores them in a setting called mcsettings.cfg. That file lives inside of your mods folder alongside the MCCC modules. Every change you make in MCCC applies to every save that you own. There is no per save configuration, so if you play multiple saves with different rules, you'll need to adjust your settings with that in mind. Now, there is a little bit of a caveat here. You'll notice here that I have a file called stevechristian.ged. If you set your individual sims to have specific settings, then those settings will be saved in a named file with that sim's name, and that setting only applies to that sim. So let's actually change some settings now. Let's open up the MCC Command Center from any computer in-game, and let's start with MC Pregnancy. If you go into Neighborhood Stories Settings and alter Neighborhood Stories, you can set this to disabled or enabled. If you have this enabled, NPC Sims will not become pregnant if they don't match the settings that are set in the MC Pregnancy module. And the partner selected for pregnancies will be limited by the corresponding settings in the MC Pregnancy module as well. Under Marriage Sim Selection, there's loads of different settings here that you can change. For example, you can enable homeless Sims to be eligible for random marriage. You can have it bypass dorm residents, bypass played households. You can have it bypass renters. So any sim that lives in a rental unit, the random marriages will bypass them. You can have it set to different days to run checks. So this specifies the days to run marriage checks at midnight. So you can do whichever days that you want. You can do flag gender preference %, which when enabled will check against same-sex percentage and permanently set the gender preference on target sims by flagging them as same-sex only or opposite-sex only if the percentage chance is met. You can set this to 0 for nothing or 100 for all. Valid marriage ages. For these random marriages, you can set teen, young adult, adult, or elder. Secondly, you'll want to check the other pregnancy. So this has different settings that changes loads of things about pregnancy itself. Allow pregnancy aging. If this is enabled, when a sim is pregnant, they will continue aging while they're pregnant. By default, it is set to disabled. There's an auto marry percentage, so if an unmarried sim gets pregnant, you can set this so that there's a percentage of a chance that that unmarried sim will get married after they become pregnant, and they will get married to the sim that got them pregnant. 0 is not at all, 100 is all the time. Now, if you want to really make your game less drama-filled or even more drama-filled, then you can go into the partner sim selection under MC Pregnancy and change the allow affairs percentage. What this does is it changes the chance that married sims will be parents in random pregnancies outside of their marriage. In other words, you basically had an affair and you'll end up with a bunch of sims that are in different households who are actually related to each other. This can create tons of drama, tons of chaos. You can set this as high or low as you want, anywhere from 0 to not at all, up to 100 equals constantly all the time. If you wish for your NPC Sims to have random pregnancies limited by relationship, they will only become pregnant if there's another Sim that matches the relationship specified in this setting. Then you can do so. If you want only couples who are married to become pregnant, And then you can tick this. If you want only significant others or only woohoo partners, then you can tick these. You can only tick one of them though. So this specifies the gender that is valid for partners of pregnant Sims. Male is chosen at default, but I like to have them both ticked. Mirrors real life a little bit more, and there are science babies now in The Sims, so having both ticked just makes sense in my mind. If you want to keep things quite realistic, you can use attraction values. You can have MCC check the candidate Sims based on their attraction value first. And if there's a candidate Sim that has an attraction to the target Sim, then you can use that Sim rather than another random Sim. Next, let's take a look at MC Woohoo, and we have quite a few different controls here. We have Woohoo actions. We can allow friendlier Woohoo partners. So when enabled, ask to be Woohoo partners can be attempted more easily between Sims with less requirements on friendship levels or gender preferences. Allow try for baby. So disabled on this, and it will get rid of the try for baby interactions in the menu options. A bit of advice though, if you do not have risky woohoo enabled, by disabling this, then that means that there will be no chances of pregnancy at all by your controllable Sims. You can also allow try for baby interactions with elder Sims and same sex try for baby as well. Going into woohoo pregnancy, now this is what I was talking about when I mentioned risky woohoo. You can have a risky woohoo percent. If we go into the adult risky percentage, this is the percent chance that the target will become pregnant during normal woohoo. It's always fun just to have that little bit of uncertainty and unexpected chaos into the game. To control fertility during risky woohoo, you can enable this to use the fertility trait and the percentage chance. Going into the woohoo reactions, you can change things in here as well. There can be bed sharing, for example, and this setting is really useful because you can enable it and it will allow Sims who are not in relationships to sleep in the same bed. By default, MCCC can trigger autonomous jealousy reactions between NPCs. This will cause breakups. So if you have jealousy disabled in the vanilla game and yet your Sims are still getting jealous, this setting is why. If you have jealousy turned off in the vanilla game, you will want to enable this setting to make sure that the two settings are the same. Finally, if you notice that your Sims are doing some interesting things autonomously, check the MC Woohoo other settings. There's a bunch of autonomous rules in here that you might not know about. For example, by default, your Sims can autonomously woohoo. If you do not want them to autonomously woohoo, then make sure that this is set to disabled. They can also autonomously try for baby. So if you want that to happen, you can enable this. If you do not want them to autonomously be able to try for baby, then make sure that this is disabled. So next up, we're going to take a look at MC Tuner, and this controls a bunch of interaction behavior and autonomy. So if you go into change interaction behavior, this allows things such as child baby care, emotional deaths, instant upgrades, the monster under the bed, multiple BFFs, teen move-ins, disabled witness death, friendly ask if single, and so on and so forth. Under MC Tuner's change interaction autonomy, again, this will change a lot of autonomous things. So like if you have people that are guests in your home and you notice that they're doing a lot of mischief and you don't want them to do that, then you can disable this to turn off autonomous mischief interactions for Sims, so they'll no longer autonomously do mischief. The same thing goes with autonomous mean interactions, autonomous proposals, marriage, flirty, repairs, cleaning, and gardening. Let's check the core module next. This is the MCCC settings module. Under here, there are quite a few settings, but what we're most interested in is the relationship settings. And we want to go down into the different relationship decay specifically. Friendship decay, the percentage here controls how quickly friendship and romance meters drop over time for your Sims. Now, the default causes passive relationship loss. That is set at 100. This means that Sims who do not interact with each other will drift apart, which will break established friendships and romances in your world without any trigger from you. If you want to change this, you can set it to 0 to freeze relationships completely so that they will no longer decay. They will increase, but they will no longer decrease. Or you can set it up to 500 to speed up the decay even more than it currently is. And you can do this for friendship as well as romance. There's also auto relationship settings, which gives you the breakup settings, bypass ancestral households, bypass play households, and move-in settings. So the ones that you want to take a look at here are breakup settings. This changes which sim will move out when a breakup occurs. You can set it to move out the male sim only. If it's a same-sex couple, it will choose a random sim. You can have it have the female sim move out or just have it be completely random. There's also couple relationship change. It's a percentage value again, 0 to 100, and this makes a boyfriend or girlfriend couple's relationship increase or decrease over time. You can also choose to move children with the breakup. This is a percent again, 0 to 100. 0 means that the children will never move with one of your Sims. They'll always stay at the home lot with the parent that stays there. Or you can do 100 for always move out. Under auto relationship settings, the final thing that we want to look at today is move-in settings. And this controls the situations when NPC Sims will move in to a different house. There's allow homeless romance move in, so if a homeless sim gets a romance level with another NPC sim, they can move in together, and that is enabled by default. You can also do move-in ages to allow specific ages for romance that Sims can choose to move in together. And by default, that's ticked for young adult up to elder. There's also a romance level setting, so you can have it set to what romance level that two Sims must currently be at to possibly move in together. And you can have it be lovers, sweethearts, soulmates, or true love. And then there's the romance move-in percent, which is the percent chance that Sims with romantic relationships will automatically move in together. So my friends, that takes care of most of the MCCC relationship settings. I hope you found this video useful. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Special thanks as always to my paid members for helping make videos like this possible.